Hello and welcome. I'm Professor Lukas, and this is the first in a series of short videos in which we'll be looking at studying, which can be crucial to success, and yet is done inefficiently by many. I wouldn't want any of my students afflicted by the inability to study well, so we'll look at various methods and what they are or are not good for. This information is adapted from Chapter 5, Understanding and Remembering, in the textbook I wrote, College Composition and Reading, Information and Services. Take a moment to think about how you study. What methods do you use? When do you study? Some of the most common study habits that students have include rereading the material multiple times, underlining or highlighting the text, and cramming the night before a test. However, research results show that these are actually ineffective. For example, in a study published in 2013, John Dunlonsky and other professors from several universities determined that, quote, strategies that students use a lot, such as rereading and highlighting, seem to provide minimal benefits to their learning and performance. In the study, most students report rereading and highlighting, yet these techniques do not consistently boost student performance, so other techniques should be used in their place. For example, taking practice tests instead of rereading. The study found some of the most popular study techniques, including underlining, highlighting, and rereading material, had little benefit to students and in some cases even proved detrimental. Many speculate that students probably rely on tasks like highlighting and rereading because they're the easiest to do while studying. It's so easy to whip out a highlighter and believe that by actively marking a passage, the information is somehow highlighted in your mind as well and will stick around. Let's take a moment to see what the issues might be with these techniques. With rereading, research has shown that when rereading is spaced over time, there is a small benefit to memory, although no benefits were clearly shown for comprehension. In addition, even though rereading doesn't require much effort, the amount of time it takes could be used much more effectively and efficiently with another study method. Other methods are just a better use of your limited study time, especially when you're focused on understanding more than memorizing. Basically, rereading, which 65% of college students admit to using, can't hurt you if the material is dense and difficult and you didn't quite get it the first time around. But don't think that rereading is as good as taking a practice test or spreading studying over time. In addition, you usually only need to reread a passage once. Multiple rereading efforts often don't make a difference after the first. Highlighting or underlining important passages or key ideas in the text is one of the most common study techniques used, especially by college and university students. The study noted that these techniques typically appeal to students because they're simple to use, do not entail training, and do not require students to invest much time beyond what's already required for reading the material. Here's what the research said. Quote, on the basis of the available evidence, we rate highlighting and underlining as having low utility. In most situations that have been examined, and with most participants, highlighting does little to boost performance. It may help when students have the knowledge needed to highlight more effectively, or when texts are difficult, but it may actually hurt performance on higher level tasks that require inference making. End quote. So then, basically, most students have been doing this because it's easy to do, and there's a common belief that it helps. But it turns out it's not as easy as people have thought, and not only does it not help that much, on more complex assignments, it can actually get in the way. Study author Mitchell Nathan said, quote, while highlighting, underlining, and rereading can achieve some advantages in some kinds of circumstances, it tends to focus the reader's thinking on kind of isolated facts or phrases. But they do really badly if you ask questions that go much beyond recognizing phrases and fact retrieval. End quote. Additionally, while cramming before a big test is second nature to many students, the research found that studying over a long period of time and practice testing are the most effective ways of learning material. Dr. Nathan said most students forget memory includes both storing and retrieving information, and if the students do not store information properly, it becomes challenging to retrieve it when needed. You could store everything you encounter, but if you can't retrieve it ever, You won't look any more competent than someone next to you who didn't remember it in the first place," he said. So then, while many students view learning as something that will mystically happen if they reread, highlight, and/or cram, that just isn't so. In the next video, we'll look at 3 main types of studying, along with examples, and talk about the benefits and drawbacks of each. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that this overview was helpful and illuminating. Please don't hesitate to contact me with any questions you may have about the material. I'm always happy to help. For now, move on to the next video to start finding out methods of studying that can be even more effective.